God is hilarious and the real OG Part 7. After 3 years of drought and barren lands, God told Elijah to meet King Ahab. If he confronted the king, God said he would bring rain to the land. One small detail: Ahab hated Elijah. One big detail: Jezebel hated Elijah more than Ahab. God's command could have very well been the death of Elijah, but Elijah boldly called out to King Ahab, challenged him to gather all the Israelites and the false prophets to meet at Mount Carmel. Picture the scene. All the Israelites had come from near and far, all the prophets rolled up, and King Ahab spoke to Elijah. There was a battle of words, some smack-talking was exchanged. Ahab called Elijah a troublemaker. Elijah shot back a retort and even included Ahab's daddy and family as the ones to cause trouble for the nation. Elijah told the king God had brought the drought because the people had turned from the one true God and worshipped Baal. And he didn't stop there. The 850 prophets who ate at the royal table, who'd condoned Ahab's sin, were called out too. The king steps to Elijah, but Elijah doesn't back down and calls out King Ahab to back up the smack he's been talking. Elijah just lays it down. They will see whose God can create fire. When the people all gathered on Mount Carmel, Elijah challenged the prophets of Baal, asked them to place a bull on the altar and pray for Baal to set fire to the bull. The prophets did as they were told, then wailed and cried out, but nothing happened. They shouted and cut themselves to gain the attention and favor of Baal, but no fire fell. Elijah, tired of waiting, began to taunt and make fun of the prophets. "Maybe you should pray louder," he said. The insults grew increasingly heated, and as some theologians described, Elijah asked if Baal hadn't answered because he was busy taking a dump. There was no barbecue for Team Baal, no fire or spark sent down, and now it was time for God to move. When it was Elijah's turn to call for fire, he upped the ante. Elijah rebuilt God's altar, dug a trench around it, and prepared a bull to lay across the altar. Then he drenched everything in water 4 times over. Why the water? Simple. If the sacrifice lit, no one could claim happenstance or coincidence. It would show that an all-powerful God had done what no other God could do. And then, in his grand moment with the prophets of Baal, pitted against the one man of God, Elijah cried out to God on behalf of the people of Israel. At Elijah's cry, God rained fire from heaven upon the altar, and the flames not only consumed the sacrifice, but the wood, the altar, and the dust around it. After seeing this amazing display, the people fell on their knees and proclaimed, "The Lord, He is God! The Lord, He is God!" And as revival broke out in the land, the dams of heaven broke too. Much-needed rain pattered down on the dusty soil, bringing a new season of fruitfulness to a dead land. And so, as the rain fell, washing away years of drought and despair, the people of Israel learned a powerful lesson. God's sense of humor is matched only by His might. From Elijah's bold sass to the divine barbecue that put Baal to shame, this tale reminds us that faith can move mountains, or in this case, open the heavens. So the next time you're facing your own drought, remember, God's got a flair for the dramatic, a wicked sense of timing, and He's always ready to bring the heat when you least expect it. Just make sure you're on the right side of the grill when He does. Let's take a moment to appreciate the original mic drop. A fire so hot it made water sizzle and false prophets squirm. Hit that follow button and let's dive deeper into the divine comedy together.